Please lead us in prayer. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Let us pray. Dear Heavenly Father, we commit this hour, Lord, and we stop to say thank you. We ask you, dear God, that you would bless this meeting this evening. We ask that you would lead and guide us in the right direction. Dear Master, we come asking thee with so many blessings. In your precious Son, Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Attention. Salute. Pray.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hey, Cobb. Lois Jordan. Here. Betty Johnson. Here. Craig Gill.
Over here.
And Rex McCarthy.
And Mayor Johnson.
Mayor Johnson.
Rex McCarthy is absent. First item on the agenda is public comment. Is this part of the agenda that allows anyone who's present to speak on any item that is on the agenda, and we would like to ask that you hold that to 2 minutes. Do we have anyone who's desiring to speak on any subject on the agenda? Seeing none, item number 2. It's my great pleasure to recognize an individual of our community. It goes well beyond my ability to give him credit that is due. He's an individual that we seem to always find time to be, no matter what the subject is within the community, but you will always find Mr. Bobby Collins in the middle of it. I don't ever remember having any type of military celebration or any type of a calendar date that you didn't see Mr. Bobby in the midst of it. Mr. Bobby, I spoke with former Mayor Billy today because when we look at Veterans Square, you know, it's so much a part of you until we're really looking at ways of what it would take to really change that and give it the name of his birthplace, and that would be you, who came up with the idea. And if you look down at there, you see a whole bunch of bricks with people's names in those bricks. Well, those bricks are representing veterans that Mr. Bobby has organized. And I would just like to take this opportunity and recognize him for the city. Mr. Bobby, would you please come forward? Sure. First, I would like to recognize you with the American flag. Yes. I know you're very familiar with that. Mr. Bobby was here during the entire beginning of the ceremony of the flag that you see up and down Highway 15. Mr. Bobby was an instrumental part of that. But I would like to present Mr. Bobby with a plaque from the city of Winsboro. And it reads, Mayor Johnson and the city of Winsboro recognizes Bobby Collins is honored for his 35 years of dedicated services to Winsboro and Franklin Parish, given on this 19th day of January, 2016. And on behalf of myself, I thank you for all that you've done. I just like to, I just want to say a few more things about you, sir. When we look at the economy of our community, and our economy is not really that bad for Franklin Parish and Winsboro and the surrounding areas, if you really stop to think about it. But Mr. Bobby is credited to over somewhere in the neighborhood of about $19 million a year for the veterans pay that disabled veterans has earned. Well, just about everyone that came through his office that he has contributed. And we thank you.
Thank you, sir.
As a veteran, I thank you.
Yes, sir. Thank you. I would like to further express my appreciation to the mayor also, the town of Winsboro. For the 35 years I've been here, the town of Winsboro has supported my office. Every program that we've had, if we needed a PA system, if we needed the grass mowed, if we need whatever we needed, all I had to do is call the mayor, and it was accomplished on it. He has been instrumental in helping veterans that we have. And Mayor, I thank you for what you have done and how you support the veterans that we have on it. It's a special honor, you know. I stop and think, well, it can't be, you know. You shower and shave and go to work, that's what I know to do on it. But yet I know there's a season for all things that I have to do. I thank my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for allowing me to be an American, just to be here and be a part of America, for the quality of life that I have enjoyed, for the friends that I have, the surroundings that I have. Nobody has been more blessed than I have, and I thank you from the bottom of my heart. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you. Let's back up to item number 2, to approve the minutes of the December meeting.
Got one change that needs to be made. I'll get you going. If I may.
Yes.
On the last page, under monthly financial reports, they have Benny Johnson and me being absent, although we were here.
You were.
Yep. So anyway,
You were. And we apologize for that error. And we will correct it.
I voted no to the financial reports.
Excuse me.
I voted no to the financial reports.
And as soon as that you voted yes,
Yes.
that's another correction that we need to make.
yeah, no, we were here. We just said we were absent.
We'll accept a motion with the necessary corrections.
So moved.
Second.
Properly moved and second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Let the record reflect that it's unanimously approved. At this time, Mr. Simon, our audit, please.
Thank you. It'll be hard to follow Mr. Collins, you know, he did such a good job, and now we're gonna talk about auditing. It's kind of boring, but we finished the audit of the period ending June 30th of last year. Now, this audit piggybacks the audit that the federal government, the legislative auditor did, and that audit was delivered on July 22nd. And all of their findings are included in this audit report, and they're not written in this audit report, but this audit report refers to their document, which they had, about 18 or 19 findings. Probably half of them didn't apply to accounting. They were talking about the name of the city and decals on the cars and driver's licenses and some things like that. But Mayor, I think it came out pretty good because they really worked this city over. They were here about 10 months, Anyway, but you do have had 19 findings, and I think y'all have cleared up just about all of them. But anyway, we delivered this audit report a few days before Christmas, and y'all had a little chance to look at them. The first thing I was going to do is see if anybody had any questions. What you saw. Well, there's one thing in it that's different that our profession requires us to disclose, and that is y'all are in 4 retirement plans, and all of these retirement plans almost countrywide are underwater, which means their liabilities far exceed their assets. And what this audit report discloses is how much the city's share of that liability is. In other words, if everybody was retired today, you wouldn't have enough money to pay them. And that number is $2,562,000. And there's nothing the city can do about that, but I suspect in the future that the rates of the retirement contributions for those 4 plans is going to continue to go up. And they're out of sight already. The lowest one, the city's part of the lowest one is 18.6%. And the highest one is 31.5% already. So that's a real significant amount of money that y'all are having to pay, and it's going to get worse. This audit report is an unqualified opinion. It shows that that your general fund, your general government funds made $316,000. Your revenues were greater than your liabilities, about $316,000. But your utility fund lost $987,000, but $660 of that was depreciation. So the utility fund really lost about $300,000, which matched the general fund. They watched that, so you were breaking even. Now, I did a work paper and I passed it out, a real simple little work paper that shows the cash balances now compared to each year for 5 years, just to show y'all what the trend has been. And if y'all got that work paper on the general fund, 5 years ago, your cash was $3,600,000. Now it's almost $4,600,000. It's increased by about $1 million. That's your general government fund. Your utility fund has gone from about $1,200,000 down to $700,000. So you got a problem in the utility fund, but you can make up for it in the general fund. But in the at the end of the day, you're gonna have to get that straightened out. That'd be a go. Also, what do you owe? Well, the general fund 5 years ago owed $173,000. Now it owes $103,000. So you got it going in the right direction. And the utility fund owed about $4,400,000, and now it's about, I'm just rounding off, about $4,100,000. So you've reduced your indebtedness by about $300,000. So it looks like the trend is doing pretty good. But those retirement percentages are going to go up because all these government retirement funds are broke. I came up here last week and I met with the mayor and several people, including Ms. Kay, and we went over in great detail everything in this audit report that we could think of. And I'm not going to take that much time to go over that again unless y'all want to talk about it. If you don't, it's public record. It's on the Louisiana Legislative Auditor's website. Anybody can get it. And that's what I have to report. Mayor. Now, Mayor, you had one other thing you wanted to talk to us about.
Excuse me?
You had one other thing you wanted us to talk about, the clerk.
You did, I did.
You want me to address that?
Please.
The mayor gave me a resume the other day of Charlika Taylor and asked me to look at it and maybe interview her. And I went back to the office and talked to two of my other auditors who have worked with her, and they've worked with her for 2 years. And we already had her on the radar as a possible candidate. And she, from what they say, and I have not worked with her very much, but what they say, and they told me this before you even asked me that, is that she can do the work. And we worked with her for 2 years. She's got a good resume. I don't see how you can do any better. I'd recommend it.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you all. Let me know if you have any questions.
What is your pleasure? Council members?
Would you like to accept this? To accept the audit?
Yes, you should.
Accept the audit.
Right, yes.
I'll make a motion that we accept these audited reports.
And properly moved
Second.
and second. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Let the record reflect that it's unanimously approved. Okay. Amendment of ordinance number 774, personnel policy procedures. We have already made those amendments. Does everyone have a copy of that? I'm sorry, go ahead. No. Okay, this is not this is an item that comes under day-to-day operation, and it's not required to be approved by the council. This is an opportunity for the council to have a copy of it and to go over it. If there's no questions pertaining to it, we'll move to item number, the introduction of ordinance number 976. Do we have that ordinance?
Mayor, I haven't really,
Okay.
this is an ordinance,
Real property?
yeah, to lease the building, we've leased it a couple of times, it's the building next to the mayor's office, am I correct?
Right.
And it was to be introduced last month, but it was not. And all we're doing tonight is just introducing this ordinance. It's got to be published 3 times, and it will be brought back to the council next month for adoption if y'all choose to adopt. So tonight is just an introduction.
So this is not the building that the young lady has now with the clothing, or it is?
She's moved out.
Oh, she has, okay.
We've got another renter, $300 a month, and the town is not using it at all. So we're just seeking permission to rent it.
So we just want to introduce it.
Just introduce it tonight.
So I'll make that motion.
Properly moved and second. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Let the record reflect that it's unanimously approved.
Alice, put that with our minutes.
Okay.
Marcel, we got a notice for you.
Yes, sir.
To advertise it.
Okay, okay.
To the chief for you. Thank you, Chris.
Meyer.
He's not gonna be here tonight, Mayor.
Okay.
Since it was Tuesday night, he had a prior engagement already scheduled for tonight.
Okay.
Comments there.
Okay, thank you, ma'am. After-school program report. While she's coming forward, I want you to know that we really, really have something to be proud of with our after-school program. It is really booming forward.
Well, I'm Patrice Bragg. I didn't know to bring extra witness to pass out to everyone, but next time we do it. But myself, Patrice Bragg, Matthew Harford, Brittany, and Benicia McCarthy. With the after-school program, the Williamsburg after-school program, I had talked with Mayor Johnson about us, all four of us. We also got another young lady, Terica Manuel. And we all came together with the mayor to do something for the kids in the program, basically from kindergarten all the way up to 8th grade. We're working on doing ACT prep classes. Haven't got that far yet, but I already said the staff, our motto is all things are possible through Christ Jesus, which strengthens us. Daily routine from 3:15 to 3:25. I'm nervous, I'm sorry. Prayer and pledge, 3:25 to 4:25. We do homework, 4:25. We do review of spelling, math, reading until closing. Operation hours are Monday, Wednesday, 3:30 to 5:30. Tuesday and Thursday, 3:30 to 6 p.m. Anyone got any questions about anything, I'm glad to answer for y'all.
How many students?
Right now, we got 38 students. We had up to 46 students. We dropped some students due to being absent. They can't be absent more than 3 days, if not without sick note or something really serious going on. But we dropped some, so now we have 38. We doing open enrollment right now, so hopefully we'll get back up to 50 kids, and that's our limit is 50.
Is this a program or
Ma'am.
you are donating your time?
I couldn't hear you, I'm sorry.
So are you donating your time?
We started off, but right now we get paid once a month, and that's $300 a month. So
And that goes back into the system buying snacks.
right,
And
we buy
Supplies.
supplies and snacks or anything else the kids need, like field trip. If we go take them somewhere, we buy that out of pocket also too. So actually, everything we get goes back into the program.
What is the difference in y'all's program and the program that they have across the street at the elementary school?
Well, our program, basically, we teach them, we do one-on-one. We all don't just teach them stuff out the books, educational stuff. We try to teach them, like we have a male, we try to teach the younger men, you know, how to be respectful and present themselves well. We try to teach the young ladies how to be, you know, how they should grow up to be, and just get involved with them, take them places, do stuff with them that they usually don't get to do at home. So.
And not only that, when the school offering tutoring, they are only doing it to help their test results. It's only a certain time of the year that they actually tutor. We're doing this from August up until May.
Right.
We were planning to do this from August up until May. The school starts their tutoring the second week in March, I believe, up until they test. And then after that point, they won't do it anymore. We also have some resources from the school to actually help us to be able to prep our second graders on down. We've encouraged third grade and up to go to tutoring because they don't offer it for them. But as far as second grade on down, we plan to try to, you know, help them as much as we possibly can while they're there. So that's just kind of how that works.
So if just say a student is not doing well in a subject in school, one particular subject, and they needed a jump start in helping, Could that student be enrolled like for, say, a semester or a half a semester?
They can.
Without it being a
They
long
can,
term?
and we do have 2 individuals that will give them that one-on-one help.
Right.
We do have that.
And we also talk to the parents and find out what their child needs before their child even comes. We sit down and talk with the parent about, do this child need help in math? If so, we got Matt Harper and Terica Mayer. They're going to give their child that one-on-one extra help outside of me, Benicia, and Brittany doing daily math and reading. We give their child to the side after they do what we have them do, and Matt Harper and Terica give them extra time. So
Overall, we had 9 students, and we brought some report cards. Overall, we've had 9 students that came in that were failing the main core subjects. From the time that we have had them, their grades have increased dramatically. They have.
anyone else have? And if you all wanna see our daily plan, what we do, like I said, I didn't think to bring enough for everyone, but we also have that also.
Earlier part of the week, we actually go so far as giving them spelling tests, giving them time math tests. If you finish your homework before the other students, pull out your books, let's read. We do spelling quizzes, we do math games. For our students that make honor roll and principals list, we have a party each month for them. Besides having a party for their birthdays for them, you know, we have Christmas parties. We do a lot. We do whatever we can do to make sure that they succeed in school.
We really reward them.
Yes, ma'am.
What is your pleasure?
I move that we accept the after-school program
Monthly report.
monthly report.
I second it.
Properly moved and second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Let the record reflect that unanimously approved. You guys did a good job.
Thank you.
Airport managers, monthly report.
And I want to say that's very impressive what they shared with us tonight. And I've been around a while, and I kind of know what comes from the heart sometimes, and I think that's coming from them. In the way of the airport, we've had computer problems. We started out with a used computer that gave us a lot of trouble. We've been able to replace that. And that's very important for our gas system and other things. I'll try to talk louder, okay? We've been doing some repairs. We have our lighting system back working, and it's supposed to come under warranty. It's not supposed to cost the town anything for that. The Garden Club has almost finished our project to beautify around the area, so we're really glad of that. And just general maintenance right now. And about 2 weeks ago, I informed the mayor that the first day of March, I turned 65. Now, I realize y'all can't believe that. But first day of March, I turned 65. So I'm cutting back on some things, and I presented my resignation to the mayor. So it's been a privilege to have been here. Been here almost 2 years, and I have learned lots of things. And I've always studied people, but I've really got to see from a different perspective. I want to say that I am very proud of Winsboro. The leadership, I think it's really good. And when I say that, I meet every Monday morning with the department heads, and they've become family to me. So I've enjoyed serving in this capacity. Tonight will be my last night because we'll have one more meeting. But I'm going to be doing some retirement type things at that particular time. So I've enjoyed serving you. It's been good. Some great people, great leadership here. And thank y'all for allowing me to do so.
Thank you. What's your pleasure? So moved. Second. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Let the record reflect that it's unanimously approved. Brother George, I just want to say publicly that you're going to have some awful big shoes to fill your boots whenever you leave. I drive by. There's such an obvious difference in our airport right now than it was when you arrived there. You see the planes that's organized out on the parking areas. You see buildings that the improvement that you have provided. You see landscaping that has occurred. I'm just so thankful that you spent as much time with us as you did. So whatever that you go into, may God be with you and you go with my blessings.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, Public Work Monthly Report.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Our crews are busy this month after first getting the Christmas decorations down. It don't take them near as long to take them down as it does to put them up. So they got them put up and tucked away, ready for a new year. We've been busy. Inmate crews from DC has and some of our local people helping us get our concession stand at Berry Park worked on. We're getting close to the inside stages of it, so it'll seem like it slows down a little bit, but once they get through there, it'll be for that finished product. So that should be coming along pretty quick. Weather's giving us a little trouble, but they've been working through it and staying with it. We haven't had any new businesses I'm aware of that came into town as far as new buildings. We got one. The track store, I understand, is going to be renovated. The one that burned up here, just for everybody's information. Saw the plans, they really modernized and make it like a really nice, modern convenience store. So that's about all updates I can bring on the building projects going on. Outside of that, we're just trying to keep our drainage and water and sewer ready for everybody. That's it, Mayor.
Thank you.
Move to accept.
Second.
Properly moved and second. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Let the record reflect that unanimously approved. Fire Chief Monthly Report.
Thank you, Mayor and Council. Been kind of a not so busy month we've had with the weather change and stuff like that, with all the heating units being used. So far, see, our private dwellings or houses, showing one right up here at the very top, coming down with vehicles. We've got 2 of those. Grass and brush, we did have a little bit of dry time. It went to picking up on us a little bit. We've got 4 of those, 3 in town, 1 of out. 1 rescue call. It was right out of town in the parish. And if we just scroll on down to the helicopter assist, anytime that the helicopter comes into the medical center out here, we just take a fire truck out there for safety, where we can be on the scene, Lord forbid if something does happen, but they ask us to do that, and we don't mind doing it for them. The fire alarms, it's been picking up a little bit, like again, talking about the heating units and things like that. We ask people to be careful this time of year with a little dust and lint, like on the central units and things like that. We ask them to be careful there, and that's what we've been getting on our alarm calls on. On further down, 7 smoke detectors installed. We're picking up on those, as people know.
we have them either come by or give us a call, and we try to see to it that they either get them or we try to get them installed for them. On down at the bottom here, year-to-date calls we've got is 193. It's 25 for the month with a total of year-to-date 218 calls. I spoke with the mayor this morning. Just wanted to add this in just a little bit, that this being starting off our new year, we've already got all of our classes, our training classes scheduled with LSU. And we've actually started last week here, where we hosted the class, and then we start having several in the parish throughout the year now. That's all I got.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Make a motion to accept.
Properly moved and second. All in favor, say aye. The next item on the agenda is the police chief wants to report. But before we do that, I would like for everyone to bear with us, and let's offer Chief Lester a few moments of silence. Thank you very much. Chief?
Thank you, Mayor. Council. You're going to have two reports before you. The first report is finishing out the year of 2015 from 12/21 to 12/31/15. Remaining criminal charges was 19. For the year was 592. The traffic charges were for the year was 699. Highway accidents was 3, parking lot 1, total 4. Call service was 188. Then starting from January the 1st, 16 to January 18th, 16. Criminal charge, you had 19 for the year, you got 19. Traffic charge, 66. For the year, you got 66. Highway accidents was 4, parking lot 7, total 11. Call for service 242. That's all.
Thank you, Chief. What is your pleasure?
I move that we accept the chief's report.
Properly moved and second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? Let the record reflect that it's unanimously approved. Humane Officer's Monthly Report.
Thank you, Mayor. Number of dogs adopted for the month, none. 29 for the year. 0 cats, 2 for the year. Claim 1, 10 for the year. 0 cats. Fostered, 0 for the month. 1 cat. Fostered, 1 for the year. Tomono, 0. Escape, 0. 10 for the year. 2 cats for the month. Number of dogs picked up new, 8. 162 for the year. 28 care for 3 cats. 500 pounds of dog food. Number 5 pounds of cat food. Total dogs in the pen, 27. Total animals in the pen, 27. 3 miscellaneous. 100 calls for the month. 20 dead animals picked up. Animal ordinance put out 10. Dog bite, 0. Last year we had about 5 dog bites, so I'm gonna add that on to my report.
Thank you. What is your pleasure?
I make a motion.
Properly moved. And second. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposes? Let the record reflect that it is unanimously approved. Economic and Development.
Thank you, Mayor and City Council. First, I'd like to say that, Brother George, we do appreciate you and the time you have served as airport manager for the town. And most importantly that I've seen, it has become a revenue generating source that we have never had. And it has reflected into that. And we do appreciate it. Of course, we know that you're going to retire, and you know, when I get your age, well, we may or not go there, but we're not going to let you just leave us. You know, we're going to be relying on your assistance. in the months and the years to come. But we do appreciate you and we love you for everything that you have done. Economic Development Report, we've been working with several different companies. Attorney Singer, the mayor, superintendent, and myself, we've been working with Munchburg Tire and Rubber. We've had several meetings with them. Hopefully that we'll have something that will be resolved in the next short while. I was hoping it was going to be this month, but it looks like it's going to be extended into a little bit longer. Hopefully that it's going to have a positive impact for us. And we're working in the best interest, and the mayor is working in the best interest of the town to make sure that we try to recover our assets and revenue that is owed to the town. And we will certainly represent the town in that manner. Also, Hunter Specialties, we've been working with Mr. Hawthorne with them, and we've got a lot of stuff going on at this time, and we will be continuing to work with them in the next month or so, and to get that done. There's a lot of positive things that is happening in the town, and things that we certainly are appreciative of. Businesses are doing well. Positive. That's a positive thing. We also, on the 3rd, I believe it is, Skipper and Mayor, that we're going to open up the 2nd, February the 2nd, for the farmers market. We're going to open the bids up again for the farmers market on the 2nd. We're not going to let that die. We're going to stay on it till it becomes a reality. There's been a lot of efforts and a lot of time and monies that is invested into that. So we're going to follow up on that. I would be more than happy to entertain any questions that you may have at this time. Thank you.
What is your pleasure?
Make a motion to accept the economic development.
Been properly moved
Second.
and second. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? Let the record reflect that it's unanimously approved.
And I would like to also add to that, Mayor, and it's nothing to be voted on or anything, that Mr. Bobby Collins, he has been a tremendous support to the town. As you know, he was in public education for many, many years before he came the VA representative, Veterans Administration. And he, not only through generating revenues for the different residents of our city through the Disabled Veterans Program, he has helped the Veterans Program and their families through medical assistance, through the VA system, and it has been a tremendous impact, and he is going to be sorely missed in our community. Okay. Thank you.
Code Enforcement Office report.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. We're still, at this time, we had over 20 homes that we have signed on this morning, notices and certified letters, which we will be sending out this week so that they can come therefore before the board and to give a reference in which why they should not their homes be torn down or why they're not repairing their homes. Also, in working with the police department, we had over 25 vehicles that people were storing in their yards. I can say today, with the help of the police department, the chief, that these automobiles have either been moved or they've been repaired. Also, the superintendent is still teaching the policies and procedures of all the ordinances and how these items should be filled out. We're also preparing after
we sent out these certified letters, that the next step would be that they would come before the board, saying why we should not tear down our homes, or how they're going to be able to remodel their homes. Once again, with the superintendent, we're therefore putting letters together with the mayor, therefore signing them, and we're sending them out to notify these people of these things that we're doing. Also, the last remark, also on the house that is over on Maple Street, that person will be going to court on February the 20th, simply because it came to the ending of the year, so therefore the city pushed their court docket over into the month of February. So therefore that person will be going to court on February the 20th.
Thank you.
I'll make a motion to accept the code enforcement officer.
Been properly moved
Second.
and second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Let the record reflect that it's unanimously approved. Community Center monthly report.
Good evening. It seems like I get pushed further and further down on the agenda each time. We had 4 events for the month of December. One was Civic. It was Gilbert Junior Beta Club. They had a Beta Club banquet. As far as that, everything has been running pretty smoothly. If I'm not mistaken, the roof is in the process of getting ready to get fixed so that we can get the leaks in the building repaired. So waiting on that because it can be a little bit of an eyesore. I'm guessing once that is fixed, then they'll come in and replace the tiles.
That's correct.
Right. So, but that is it for the community center.
I'll let you accept.
Second.
Been properly moved and second. Question?
I just have one question. On this report, you showed that there were 4 deposits returned here in December. All 4 of them, but yet that is not reflected, any of these are not reflected on our financial report.
They was returned, everybody got their deposit back. Paper bills returned in the refund.
Anybody explain why it's not reflected on the financial report?
I can't, not at this time. I will get that information and get it back to you. What is your pleasure?
Move that we accept community center report.
Properly moved and second. All in favor, say aye. Opposed, you have that same right. Let the record reflect that it's unanimously approved. Athletic monthly report. I was told someone had the athletic monthly report. Well, no one does. Okay. Monthly financial report.
My biggest question, don't know why I got some, is why on our general fund profit and loss, it shows that we transferred $200,000 from sales tax. But when you look at the sales tax report, it shows that we only transferred $150,000. That would be something that Charlotte should be up to date.
I don't have a copy of the financials. Amanda printed them out and gave them to y'all, I assume. I haven't even seen them. I don't have them.
But this falls under the category.
I do know that we transferred 2 months. I know we did 150 at the beginning of the month, and then I know that we were running low on funds around Christmas. And I spoke to America, and she said to transfer an additional 50. Why it's not being shown, I can't really say because I do know for a fact that it was done because I did.
When did that take place?
Around the holiday area, I called her because I checked the statement online.
But her, she's got her dues before that. Aren't you doing her stuff most of the time?
Yeah, I do most of her stuff.
Yeah, and you ought to know. So basically, none of the questions can be answered because you don't have a problem. I mean, there's numerous monies that are allocated, shows to be an expense, that there's no name or memo posting as to what it is. Like, for instance, in the ball field, there were 3 checks written, or 3 postings that doesn't have anything, just like where they went. There were some in utility system that were just not there.
You still have the, finance, meetings?
We don't
say, you don't?
For this to go on this, there is a negative 18,000 in utility systems payroll expenses in December that is listed as income. That shouldn't be negative, plus it's not good deal.
I don't have a copy, but I do know for a fact I don't post anything without a memo. So if it's been posted without a memo, it wasn't mine. It's very simple to get an audit trail to see who posts what, and who changed, and edit what, and who booked. So you can more than welcome to that. Things are moving around, really, in my department. I only post the daily deposit information. That's the only thing that I actually do. What's done up front with the ladies when they do their daily deposits, they do 2 sheets, and I distribute it to people. Just those 2 sheets. That's the only post that I actually do. So the other postings and move things to the right funds and whatnot, I have not done. And I don't write any checks without a memo, because some memory is bad, so I like to make notes for myself what it's for.
There's several of them in there. Not bad, and then there's some that have energy in the memo. Instead of being in the vendor, it's in the memo.
Well, I know for a fact that Amanda's
Ma'am, excuse me.
information.
Excuse me, you're out of order.
I don't post energy either. Last month, actually, when I got the monthly statements and caught up the bank records for the previous 3 months, was the first time I had actually seen the energy listed here. I don't get energy. I just get the list in my assistant for that's the only thing I do. And if it's all file 1 or something, I may edit the journal entry that's already in, which I thought they were automatic entries, but I guess not. I guess Amanda or Laura is supposed to. So I thought they were automatic entries. So I'm just learning them because I just saw them for the first time.
I guess I totally misunderstood the other night whenever we were in the meeting, and I asked Amanda about the finances, and it was because you had not done the bank statements, and you couldn't get into the bank statements to do them.
Last month when I was giving them, because they weren't
done for 3 months. I did that up until December. Well, Franklin, for some reason, they don't send out a paper copy. You have to get it online. And then it's assigned to new password. I messed it up and locked the account where the mayor had to call and open the online thing out again and print it out. Again, that wasn't the reason for the late financials that I know of, because I had just learned that. But that like happened that day, the day before actually, and the mayor called to unlock that account. So it was going to the clerk's email, but I think they disabled that when they disabled Julie's access to the account. So that's probably why she didn't get it. Either way, we didn't get one. And when I tried to log on to get it, I messed it up because I was trying to do the new password.
What did you say wasn't done for 3 months?
The bank recs.
Why was it?
That wasn't my job before. I wasn't doing bank recs. It was Julia, and then it was Pastor Amanda when she was made separate. It was check and balance thing that I wasn't able to do the recs. So I helped Julia with it before, and then when we got audited, he was saying that I shouldn't be doing it, you know, that I put it in the pot. So I wasn't doing that. But I can't get those numbers for you if I actually were able to, you know, get my hands on a copy of any.
It was your question addressed.
They were on.
Excuse me?
The financial reports are on.
We don't, I'm sorry, we don't have the person that prepared the statement here to address it. What I would be willing to do was to just overlook this amount and come back when we have the person that prepared the report present with us, and then who was able to answer your question. And until that time, we can just table the financial report until that is that satisfactory with you? I'll take a motion to
the table.
Yes.
I'll make a motion.
It's properly moved. Second. And second. All in favor, say aye. Opposed? I'll take a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
We're adjourned.